Hi, Cece. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I am doing well, man. How was your day?
It was long, but it was good.
That's good. We here. We here. One second. One second. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Cece. The floor is yours. Thank you for waiting patiently. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
No problem. First I want to say that there's two parts to that story. I know that Michael B. Like I saw that, like that's been on my TikTok. That's been going all of my TikTok, so I've been seeing it. But she did turn around and explain her side of it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel personally for me, um, like that corny stuff, I feel like it's new. I feel like it's a new age thing. I feel like when you see a man who is about their business, if he not disrespecting you, they feel that it's, if they respect you, it's corny. It's
Mm-hmm.
corny for you to be a respectable man. It's corny for you to be um emotional. Like for a man to have feelings, they look at it like they're weak. And I wouldn't even really say corny because that's not even something that I personally say, but they look at them like they're weak and they have no type of like rights to feel that way as a man. And I feel like that's where the problem comes in with the black community to say, oh, he's corny or he's weak if he express. If he says this bothers me or this is something that I don't like, or if he tries to actually speak up for himself, it's considered frowned upon. And I feel like it's also for the individual as well. What one person may find corny, the other person may not. Like I don't find it corny for a man to say how he feels, but somebody else may think so. So it's just for the individual of what they like and what they don't like. I feel like with that meme, like somebody may have liked it to do with the books. That's just their preference. My preference for me, I'm single. I was married for 10 years. I was
Mm-hmm.
married for 10 years. So I learned a lot being married. I got married at 22 years old. So, dealing with my husband at that time frame, it took a lot of growth for me as a woman to even understand what I was doing in that marriage to make things go about it. I feel like everybody is one sided, but you also got to look at both sides of what you can do better and what is that you not doing to make this person feel a certain way. So I feel like it's really all about preference of what it is that you like. What one person may find corny, the other person may not. And what you may find corny, the other person may not. It's just really just depends on what you want and what you don't want in a relationship.
Yeah, and thank you for your perspective. So I'm 20. I'm 26 years old, Cece, and all that stuff that you heard me saying earlier, that's stuff that I've always said on my platform. And when I say those things, I'm like really not trying to be funny. Like I hear what you say about like the whole preference thing, and there may have been someone that liked the boy with the books, but um you know at my young age that I'm at, and from my own experiences and what I've seen, I just personally have seen that a lot of black women when they are younger, and
Mhm.
they're having their way with men, right? Because they're young and they're looking their best, and they're having all these options. They're having all these different men hit them up, especially in 2023 with social media. They got men from all over the world, all over the country hitting them up. So I personally have just seen that whether you want to call it a preference or a type, I have seen, the type of men that they deal with, and I have seen the men that they refer to as corny, as being a square, as being a lame. And it's crazy that someone that even like Michael B. Jordan could be considered corny. Someone like Drake could be considered corny. Someone like Nick Cannon can be considered corny. I've seen it time and time again. Like, the having children out of wedlock, that wedlock rate in our community is extremely high. And when you hear a lot of these women that are part of this, percentage, a lot of these black women try to make it seem like, they were out here, that all these baby dads that they have are just stand-up men, right? Like they're just lawyers, they're engineers, they're physicians, they're men that work in finance. No. These are the street niggas that I'm talking about. These are the men that they be dealing with. These are the men that dog them out and make them single mothers and bring all this trauma and pain onto them. And then, like I said, they get to a point where after all that has happened, they don't want to deal with those type of men anymore. And then they tell the men that are being responsible, they tell the quote unquote good men that y'all need to hold these other men accountable. But like men like myself, like these men that y'all consider good men, like we have any control over the men that y'all deal with and who y'all open y'all legs for. So I'm just saying, I'm gonna say this now. I'm gonna let you respond. I'm just saying from what I've seen, the men that make honest livings, like these days, these women are saying men that like go to work and go to the gym and go home. They're saying that these men are boring. They're saying that these men are lames. Like these are the men that they're considering corny and stuff. Like if you not outside, if you not gonna be at the club tomorrow in the section, standing on the couches with girls and buying bottles for them, a lot of these women consider these the men that are opposite of these men to be lame. That's just what I've seen.
I think that it speaks on the person you are, though. Like, I feel like it speaks on the value of the woman. Me personally, and I can't speak for anybody else,
Right.
but me personally, I feel like a woman is not going to want a man who's out here just running the streets. They're not going to want somebody who doesn't have a stable income. They I feel like a real woman, in my opinion, I have to make sure I say that,
Right.
in my opinion, is going to want stability. They're going to want security. They're going to want protection. They're going to want all of this from a man who's actually able and capable of giving that to them. They're not going to look for a bad boy or somebody that's out in the streets, run the streets, still haven't got their stuff together, still trying to figure out life on where they fall at in life. So I feel like it just depends on the woman, like, and what it is that she's looking for in that time of her life. Younger girls are not at a point to where they want to settle down. And somebody had asked in a comment, was I raised in a two-parent household? Yes. My parents were married for 35 years. I lost my mom last April. But my parents were married for 35 years before my mom passed. So seeing the love and the respect and the security and the protection that he gave her, I'm not saying that I haven't dealt with, bad dudes or whatever, or messed up dudes that I thought in that moment were cool dudes. But now when I look back on it, I'm just kind of like, what the H was I thinking? But it was the growth that I had to go through that to understand what it was that I was dealing with in that moment. And I grew from that. I grew from seeing, and it grew myself, not even so much of them. It made me reflect back and look at myself and say, what is it that I'm doing wrong? What is it that I am, putting out there? Because I truly believe that the energy that you give out is what you receive. So I really, it took me a second to really look at myself and not be in a relationship and work on me. Just be by myself and not settle for what a person brings in front of me that I know that I don't want. So it just depends on, the place and the time that they are in their life.
Yeah. And
Some girls may want that dude that got a whole bunch of money, and if your bank account don't look like this, you ain't, you're not for me. If your credit score is not this, you not for me. Some people even go off the appearance, because I have a friend that goes off the appearance of what a man may look like he has, and that backfire too, because you never know. So I feel like until you get to a point of honestly truly knowing the person that you're pursuing, or they may be pursuing you, or however that may go, you're always going to fail. It's always going to be a lose, in my opinion.
yeah, I just haven't seen what I've seen a lot, the benefits, if you will, that I've seen a lot of women give to men that have literally nothing going on in their life. Like they got two pair of jeans and three pair of Jordans and six tank tops and a PlayStation 5 and a backpack. Like men like myself that got careers and like go to work and make an honest living and pay taxes. Like I like men like myself, like we're not having women like, move us into their apartments and having us drop them to work and use their car while they're at work, be at their crib playing the game, eating all the snacks out their pantry, eating all the gushers. Like we're not getting afforded those benefits. So I'm just kind of confused that like why is it that the man is the complete opposite of me? Like they offering these men all these benefits, but they got all these expectations and all these standards for the men that like really got stuff going on in their life. I'm just trying to like understand that.
I just feel like men have to look at themselves as being the prize as well. A woman is not always the prize. Sometimes the man can be the prize too. And I feel like I have a son and I have three daughters. And I teach in all of my kids, even my son, to say, you are worth more than, you know, some girl calling you names or whatever. If she is not respecting you as a man, that's not somewhere that you need to be. So I feel like if a girl is choosing not to deal with you because of the fact that you don't have this, she's not the one for you to even try to deal with. Let her be. Move along, because the right person will come along to where they're going to accept you for who you are. They're going to want to know you as a person. They're going to want to love you as a person, and not for what you can do for them. And I think that that's where it all matters. Why would you want to be with somebody who's not really loving on you and what you can do for them? I don't want that. If I'm not the one for you, if you sitting up here and you dealing with me, because at the end of the day, my money may go, everything may leave, and it's just me here. And if I'm not enough for you, then I don't need you, because we can build back up together. If my money left, if my car left, if my house left, and if we still hold each other down, everything that I have materialistic, we can build back up together. But if you are only in this for material things, when that leaves, you leave. So why would you even want someone like that? Like, I wouldn't even deal with anybody like that. If I, Sierra, is not good enough for you, then you have a good life, sir. And I'm not even gonna waste my time, because time is not something that you can get back. Everything else you can get back. My time I can't. So I'm not even gonna play with you like that.
Right, right, CC. But this is the problem too, though. And you're 100% right in everything that you said. But you know, you're respectfully, you're a little older than me these days. A man's character, a man's personality, that's at the bottom of the totem pole for a lot of these women. For most of these women that I believe. Most of these women, they want to know how much money you have. They want to know how much money you make. It's more so about what can you do for me right now, and what can you possibly do for me in the future. The man's character and the personality, after they find out if you know you qualify for those two things, then we'll find out about the character and the personality, the morals, the ethics, the values, how loving and caring, compassionate you are. We'll find out about that later. And this is what black women are saying. This is what black women my age are telling me on TikTok, off TikTok. We've seen what our moms went through. We've seen what our aunties and our grandmothers went through. Black women are the only women that I like have ever heard say anything about struggle love. You know, they're not interested in dating even men that are on the same socioeconomic status level as them. Like the girl that's I always say this example. The girl that's gonna be at Walmart tonight working the 11 to 8 shifts stocking the shelves, she don't want to date the man across the city that's doing the same thing as her. She want to date the man that work in corporate finance. She want to date the lawyer. She want to date the engineer, despite the fact that she stocks shelves at Walmart, and that's all she does. And she make 30 bands a year. She thinks she deserves like the best man that the world has to offer. So when the man across the city that's doing the same thing as her want to like try to get in a relationship with her, she's not interested.
Well, then that could be her loss. That could be her loss. Like, if she's not interested, maybe she wants something different, and she's not wrong for wanting something different. I'm not going to say that she's wrong, but that I feel like this. I make pretty decent money. Like, I'm okay with the money that I make. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I make more money than you, sir, so F you. No, that's not. I feel like for me, it's more so of how you treat me. It's the respect that you give me. It's the love that I feel when I'm with you. Like, it's all of these things that matter. Yes, money does make a difference. Yes, money does matter. I ain't gonna say it makes a difference, but it does matter.
Right,
You do have to be bringing something to the table. But
right.
I feel like when there's love, or for me, just for me, um, if he comes into this, and like I said, I make pretty decent money myself, so I'm okay. But if he comes in this and he's a person who, third shift at Walmart, I'm not gonna knock you, because at that moment that's where you at. But who's to say that you will stay there? So we if you truly Getting to know a person and you coming into this person and you know, okay, this is what he does, but he's respectable towards me. He don't lie to me. He doesn't treat me like crap. He's there for me. He's somebody that's going to protect me. All of this other stuff I feel will fall in line if that's the right person. I feel like people do a lot of trying to make the wrong person the right person for them, and then they get hurt in the end because you're forcing something that's not supposed to be there at all. And then you wonder what happened. This person is giving you every single sign and clue that they're not the one for you, but you're constantly trying to make them so. So that's where it all falls apart. If somebody shows you and they tell you who they are, believe them. You can't make it into something different. If it walk like a duck and quack like a duck, it's a duck, baby. No matter how much you
Mm,
want it to be something different. So I feel like yes, that is a thing, but I don't think that someone should be knocked on saying, okay, I do this, I want something better than this. And if they find somebody to give them better, then good for them. And if they don't, then that's on them. You just got to find what actually works for you and what it is that you are looking for. If you are looking for somebody that, got all of this, that, the other, then you may find that whatever energy you put out, you will receive. If you looking for somebody that may look like they got something, but they really don't, that's gonna be your downfall when it comes back. And now he ain't doing nothing, sitting on the couch playing the game, eating your baby few snacks.
right. Let me ask you one more question before I move on to the other Sierra.
Okay.
So I don't have anything. I don't have any problem with women. Me personally, I don't have any problem with women being hypergamous. Um, I have a mother. I have two sisters myself. I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman wanting to be with a man that is gonna make her feel quote unquote secure or whatever. Um, but I also think it's problematic, and I'm not saying you're doing this or you do this. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Hmm.
Since you said you have daughters, are
Hmm.
you going to encourage your daughters to just totally be against quote unquote building with a man? So I don't think a woman should be dating a man that's not financially stable. I don't think she should be dating a broke man. I don't think she should be dating a man that got bad credit. But if you and a man are both on the same socioeconomic level, and
Hmm.
this man is a good man to you, I think it's problematic to like be telling women that nope, still aim for like higher. Like my whole point is they're not interested in building with the man anymore. And I always say this: they treat men like Build a Bear nowadays. They treat men like Build a Nigga. They want him to be the height that they want him to be. They want him to make the money that they want him to make. They want him to have the sex game that they want him to have. Like they treat men like build a nigga nowadays. So instead of actually building with a nigga. So my question to you is: are you going to tell your daughters don't build with a man? Make sure that he's already established. Or are you gonna tell your daughters that like obviously it'll be great if you can get a man that's already fully established that wants to like take care of you and have something serious with you, but if you what there's also nothing wrong with building with the man that's on the same level as you. What are you gonna do? Tell your daughters.
Um. Okay. So me personally, I don't see anything wrong with building with somebody who's on the same level, or even if my daughters get to a point where they make more money than him. I don't see anything wrong with them building with somebody who's on the same level as them at all. I'm not gonna tell them, because they could go for somebody at a higher level or that makes more money than them, but money does not make the person. So you could have somebody who makes a whole bunch of money and they don't treat you like anything. They treat you like you're replaceable. But you could have this person who is at the same level or make less than you that treats you like you everything. So to me, I would rather my daughters be treated like the queens that I am raising them to be than somebody's leftovers, in my opinion. Like I teach them every day to, I show them with my actions, we don't allow anybody to treat us less than. Not at all. Not gonna happen. So you got to understand your worth and your value. And if you come across a guy who was very respectable, You know, he works a 9 to 5, a regular job, whether it's McDonald's or Walmart or whatever. You know, but at the end of the day, he respects you, he loves you, y'all build together. Like y'all are bringing, both of you are bringing things to this table, not just you, not just him. You know, that's something worth being in. You know, my mom just she always told us, like, you know, it's not about what he got, it's about how he makes you feel. It's about how he treats you. My dad was not the wealthiest man at all, but my mom treated him like a king. But he made sure he provided for not only her, but 10 kids, because my mom had 10 kids. And he did that, whether he had to get up in the morning and work three jobs in the day. He did that. And I saw that growing up. So, yes, I would tell my daughters to stick with that person. Y'all both work at Walmart or whatever right now. Stick with this person if he's treating you right. I don't care how much money he got. He's not going to, you don't deal with somebody that's going to disrespect you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miss Sierra. Thank you for the gifts that you sent. I am going to drop you and bring, because there's
Yep.
other people that want to come up. But thank you so much.
No
You are
problem, love.
always welcome here. You have a great night. Okay.
You too. Bye bye.
All right.